Hey there, welcome to the Focus Podcast with Tara Lee. This is the place where we talk about real life, real relationships, and how to grow through it all. If you're looking for simple mindset shifts, better communication, and deeper connections, you're in the right spot. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Focus Podcast with Tara Lee, where we talk about relationships that shape us and how we show up for ourselves and for the people that we love. Today, I am joined by someone who brings equal part humor and heart and honesty to every conversation. Melissa Radke is a best-selling author and speaker and creator, best known for telling the truth in a way that makes us laugh and think and sometimes tear up. You may know her from her viral videos, her reality TV show, The Radkes on USA Network, or her first book, Eat Cake, Be Brave, and her new podcast with her husband, David, The Radke Show, which is hilarious, by the way. But today we're going to talk about her newest book release, Chicken Fried Women. It's a collection of stories about women, the real women who shaped her life. And these aren't character. They are her family, her friends, and women who loved her fiercely and frustrated her deeply and stood by her through it all. And we're going to talk about those relationships and the lessons they taught her and her own journey as a wife and a mom to teenagers. And of course, what it's like to be married to David. And so, Melissa, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. That was a beautiful intro. What the heck? I was admiring myself so much in that intro.
I love it. Well, it's all truths about you, and I have been following you for a really, really long time. So
Have
I'm
you
really
really?
excited about this. I have. I looked back and I was like, just on Instagram since 2017, I think. But I
Shut
know it was
up. Oh my
before.
gosh. I was barely even doing anything on Instagram then because I didn't know how to do it. And
Yeah.
now I figured it out. So now I don't do anything on Snapchat because I did Snapchat one day and I snapped myself on the toilet. I
Oh no.
snapped myself on the toilet. And it didn't get
Oh
posted. It
no.
didn't get posted, but I was like, forget
You
this. And so
hope.
I just deleted it.
That's nice. So yeah, I Snapchat is not, I don't get that at all.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
even the TikTok, I'm trying to do TikTok and little things here and there, but I'm just definitely not
Now I do
learning it.
love
But I
TikTok, but Facebook, like in 2017, that I was doing most everything on Facebook. Now I've really, Facebook has grown and changed a lot. And so really the demographic and the people that you're talking to are so different on TikTok versus Facebook versus Instagram. It really
so
is.
true.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you have found that.
Yes.
Um, TikTok, like for instance, TikTok and Instagram are less opinionated than Facebook.
True.
Instagram is more nosy than TikTok. It's really
Yes.
it's so it's kind
Yeah.
of you have to
Hmm.
kind of put on different hats a little bit.
That's so true. I love that. That's so funny. Yep, I agree. Yeah, I've been following you forever. You just have the sense of humor and just I just love.
Well,
And
thank
this
you.
your newest book, Chicken Fried Women, if you have not gotten it, go get it because you will not regret it. And I have to tell you, there's been times that one of the times I was reading into it, and so sometimes I don't have a lot of time to read, but one of the times that I was reading it, I was sitting next to my daughter who was in an MRI machine, and it was kind of a little bit serious situation and stuff. And I was laughing out loud. Like you helped me come out of those thoughts, and because it was like, but I
I
was
was gonna
literally
say
laughing out loud.
this isn't really MRI type reading. I was like, oh
But
geez, I bet your daughter was like, this is so disrespectful, but I hope everything is
she
okay.
she was asleep, so she was
Okay, good.
just
Okay,
she
good.
was out of it. She was asleep. So yeah, but it was like it was perfect. You just brought me out of where I was at the moment, and I loved it. And so I love all your stories. What inspired you? I mean, I know a little bit of this history because I read the book, but what
Mhm.
inspired you to write this book?
Well, first of all, let me just say that I love people. I love people.
Mhm.
I love people. I love their stories. I love to hear. I'm a huge podcast listener and a podcast. I mean, I have a podcast, but podcasts are just people stories. And so I've always
Mhm.
been a fan of people. I especially love women. I cheer women on. I say that I've been cheering women on since 2016, and it's true. Um, so the more I meet with women and read their emails and meet them in bookstores and they come up to me at Target or whatever, the more I realized that I was sitting on a gold mine of my own stories. really.
Yeah.
And they would say to me things like, "Oh, I love it when your mom comes on your podcast," or "Oh, I love it when your Aunt Melba is on the, if you film her and she's on Instagram." And I was like, "Well, if y'all love them when they're well behaved, you should hear stories of when they're not well behaved." And then I just thought, I think that the women in my life that surround me are really relatable women. My mom has battled some demons in her life. My aunt lost her husband at a young age. My cousin Meredith went through cancer. I mean, I just thought, man, I not only listen to stories, I have stories. And I have stories about women who have stories, right? So I just decided to make a book about the women who made me. The little subtitle of Chicken Fried Women is friendship, kinship, and the women who made us this way.
Mhm.
Because they didn't just this although this is a book about the women in my life, what I hear over and over is, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm part of your family. Oh my gosh, they remind me of my women. Oh my gosh, I swear your aunt's just like my aunt, or your granny sounds like my granny." And so when
Mhm.
we look as women, when we look around us, we will discover that it was other women who made us how we
Yeah.
are. Maybe it wasn't, maybe you didn't have a grandmother, maybe you didn't have a mother, but I bet you had a teacher. But I bet you had a piano teacher, but I bet you had a Sunday school teacher. But so women help shape us, don't they? They really
Yes.
do. And I just wanted to celebrate that and talk about that. And I only know how to celebrate with laughter. So yeah, the stories are funny, but they are real. So
Oh, they are hilarious. There's one I had to read the chapter to my husband because I was laughing so hard that I was like crying to myself. And so I had to go back and like read him the pet parade. So I don't want to like spoil it for anybody else because the way that you worded that and the way that you set that story up, people, you have got to just go get
okay,
this
you
book.
want to
It is
hear
so
something funny
funny.
about that, Tara? When I would write like 5 or 6 chapters and then I would bunch them up and then I'd give them to my Aunt Melba, who's a big reader and also
Yeah.
great with grammar. And so I would let
Mhm.
her like edit. And I had written all of these chapters and all these stories on the women in my family, the women in my life. And she'd give them back. And she'd be like, "Those were cute.
Mhm.
I like them. I approve." When I handed her the pet parade, which is not really even about the women, it's about something that happens to me and my daughter when
Mhm.
she had a pet parade at school. She came back and she said, "Out of all those chapters that were about us and were so funny, this is the one that's my favorite." Like that was everybody's favorite.
Oh,
And people go, "Did that really happen?" That is, yeah, there's some exaggeration in a couple of my chapters. That one, zero exaggeration. That is 100% true.
oh, and
And
the
yet
way
that
that
is the one
you
that people are like, that should be a movie. And it should be,
Yeah.
really. But
It
I don't know
really
if it would be
should.
a horror movie or a comedy. I really don't
Oh,
know.
both, both. Oh my gosh, the way that you worded it too is just perfect. People, you've got to go. You've got to go get it just for that book alone. Okay, I see you with your drink.
Yes.
And I think it was at your last episode with David of your podcast about the swig stuff and
Oh,
your
yes. Did you hear that
drinks.
about my dirty soda addiction?
Yes, and I
Have
have to
you
tell
tried a
you,
dirty soda yet?
see, so I was born and raised in Utah, so I'm
Okay.
a dirty soda girl. Like
Okay.
I live in South Carolina now though, so I'm South Carolina.
Well, it
But
took some
yeah.
time for dirty sodas to reach Texas. Let me just tell you that because
Yes.
we're just now discovering them. But now I will say a dirty soda is not it's not calorie friendly. Okay.
No.
If you're trying to get in a swimsuit for the summer, I don't suggest you get addicted to dirty sodas because a dirty soda is the base is soda and then you can decorate it with coconut cream and vanilla and all these different things, right? And it is like drinking probably the caloric count of a milkshake. I don't know. This, however, I would like you
Yeah.
to know is my water and my trim fit and my greens.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
this is a
Okay.
healthy one. This is healthy. I've got my collagen in here and my greens. So stay off my case,
Yeah.
Tara, is what I'm saying. Get off my case. All right.
No.
About my dirty
I,
soda addiction.
I've got Diet Coke with sugar-free Torani syrup coconut and then
Okay.
fresh lime. And then I squeeze a half a lime in it.
How
And
do
I
you
don't do the
feel?
cream. I like the cream sometimes, but the
Girl, I
coconut and
like the cream.
lime.
How do you feel about the sugar-free syrups?
I don't mind the Torani. The Torani
Okay.
ones, I don't this. obviously not sponsored because nobody sponsors me, but that's so good. The Tarani, because I have like, I don't know, 10 different ones and we have the pump and everything. I have a little setup and
Oh,
the
I do
pebble
too.
ice maker and all that and all the drinks. And like my husband likes Sprite Zero with peach and strawberry. So it's kind of like a Georgia peach in this.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
throw a little coconut in it with it. And oh,
Girl,
there,
I
you
have
just
the
try
same
all
setup
kinds.
and they each have a pump on them. I mean, I'm
Yep.
gone too far. I've gone too far.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I almost last summer almost bought a franchise of one of those things, not Swig because you had to buy like 10 of them,
Uh-huh.
but and I didn't want 10 stores, but I almost bought one to bring to South Carolina and was like in talks with two different franchises and was going to do that. But then in September, my 24-year-old was diagnosed with cancer, the one that was
Oh
in the MRI.
no. Okay.
So we kind of got really busy with that and stuff, but
Yeah.
she's in remission. She had a really rare kind of lymphoma. It's
Really.
primary mediastinal B-cell lymphoma, but 1 in 2 million. So she feels really special but
Oh,
she's been able to kick that and is, getting on we've got 2 years that we kind of, it's touchy, but
yeah.
her PET scans have come back good and she's getting her life back. She just turned 25 and
Oh,
is
that's so
doing good.
wonderful.
I know. Yeah. So all good. But that was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try to start a business because I thought it would be like for my, kids. She's
Yeah.
my oldest. And then I have a 21-year-old and eight, he's almost 19-year-old. I thought,
Mhm.
oh, it could be a family thing. No, that
No, it
was,
wasn't the
they were like,
time.
nah, I don't really want to do that. So,
It was not the time. Oh, bless
so
her. Well,
yeah,
okay,
we need one
so
of those here.
Swig is huge, but so is Sodalicious.
Yes.
Sodalicious. Like
Fizz.
you get that play on words there. Was it that one the one
Yeah.
you were looking at?
Fizz and Twisted
Fizz.
Sugar.
Fizz. Fizz is the other one I've heard about, but I haven't tried that
Yes.
one.
Yeah, Fizz. And then we have a Twisted Sugar in Charleston, not too far from
Uh-huh.
here. And those are really good too. So
Okay.
it's kind of the same thing. And they also have the little cookies and stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
lots
Okay.
of
Okay.
good fun
You,
of
you
those.
do
But
realize I'm going to get off this podcast and go look up franchise opportunities with Fizz. I don't want to open no 10 swigs, I can tell you that.
yeah,
But I'm going
no,
to go look that up. I'm
Fizz
just
and
because I'm
Twisted
nosy.
Sugar. Yeah, those were two that I was looking at. And you didn't have to do 10 of them.
Yeah.
You could do one or three or whatever. So
Oh, how cool.
yeah,
Okay.
we
That's
need
cool.
those.
That's
We
cool.
need those here because
Oh, I can
that.
tell you in Texas, we don't need them, but we want them. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I live in a small town in South Carolina, so it's definitely, I feel like I could talk to you forever and ever and ever. But what's so funny is I feel like I already know you. Like
Yeah.
you don't know, this is us just meeting, but I feel like already know you so much just through all your stories and all your, everything and just
You
following you.
do. I promise
So
you, Tara,
you're,
there's no
we're,
more to me than there's no
we're
other side. I don't go any deeper than this. Okay.
Yeah, we're
Um,
BFFs and you didn't even know it, but
we're BFFs. I didn't know you were the best friend I never knew I always wanted. And I really, I hear that from a lot of women and I love it. It's probably to this day, the best compliment that a person can give me is when they say, I feel like we're best friends. That's high praise for me because I'm going to tell you something. Us women are picky about our best friends. Tara, are
so
you
true.
like me? Okay, this is so weird. I am weird about even when I introduce a friend, like if I have a friend and I introduce her to someone else, I will
Mhm.
be careful about whether I even refer to her as a best friend because
Oh
best
yeah.
friends are those are our girls. Those are like that goes
Mhm.
deep.
Yeah.
So when someone says to me, I feel like you're my best friend, that's an honor because we don't
Yeah.
just pass those out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To just anybody. I was out of town last week and I went to a wedding, and the mother of the bride
Mhm.
introduced me to someone. And she said, Julia, I want you to come over here and meet my best friend. This is my best friend, Melissa. And I was like floating on air that someone would call me that. I feel the same way about her. You know,
Yes.
we know that we are, but it's still a big deal when we call each other that. And I don't know if that's a Southern thing or just an all women thing, but our besties are few and far between. You know, I
Yes.
don't just give that
Mhm.
honor to anybody because I tell them I'm vulnerable with them. I'm transparent with them.
Yeah.
So when someone says that to me, it's certainly high praise. But I will say that one of the things that I get a lot, if people watch me on Facebook, or if they watch, especially like Facebook is big with stories now, little stories,
Hmm.
and Instagram is big with that, the little bubbles up at the top. I just show you my life, and I'm really real about that. The truth of the matter is, I am a woman who has been on a budget for a really long time. I am trying to put a kid through college, and that's expensive. So, therefore, I make a menu at the beginning of the week like other people, and I budget out what I'm fixing, and we get 2 nights to eat out. And, you know,
Yep. Yep.
I try to find shoes that are on sale. A lot of times people will say, "Can you link that shirt? Can you link those pants?" And I'm thinking, no, because I bought them at Old Navy like 4 years ago. They're not like, someone just asked me, "The earrings that you wore to the wedding, can you link them?" No,
Yeah.
because I couldn't afford earrings for the wedding, and I borrowed these from a friend. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm 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 just really real about that. I don't know how to be anything
Yeah.
else but that. And I just have to hope that people find it charming or relatable, and that they see
Yes.
Jesus in me, and just hope for the best.
I think that's why everybody loves you so much is because of that, for that reason, because you are relatable. You're one of us.
Yeah.
So as creepy as it might sound when somebody says that to you, like to me, I was like, that probably sounds creepy, but
Oh gosh.
maybe,
I
that
have people all the time say, "Girl, I stalk you online." And I will say to them, first of all, that's not creepy. I have wanted a stalker for so long. So yes, that's great. Thank
yeah.
you.
Although I just hear on your podcast about your cousin's wife that followed you and didn't even know it was that she was related to you for so long. That's hilarious. That is
Literally
the
followed me
funniest
for like
thing.
8 years, had no idea she was married into my own family.
That,
But that's her husband's fault. He's an idiot. So
yeah.
that's her husband's fault.
Yeah.
They never ever looked at her screen, nothing. He didn't. That's a long story. And I can tell people, if you're interested in that story, go check out the Radke Show wherever you listen to podcasts.
Podcast, for
There's a
sure. It
plug.
is
How you like that?
hilarious. Oh, you have seriously, people do need to go listen to that because it is funny. Just listening to you and David talk and just the stories that you come up with are just have me laughing. So I
They
love it.
I don't understand why people find the dynamic between David and I so endearing. I
Yeah.
personally, we get on my last nerve, but we have such fun together. I am really blessed to say that I work with my husband. Like, he had to quit his job in order to come and manage me full time. But of course he was an entertainment attorney. So he was definitely in the realm of being able to do that. But
Yeah.
we work really well together. We actually fight more when we aren't together all the time. I know that sounds bizarre, but it just works for us how God has kind of ordained that. And we get along really well. And so we started this podcast just talking. We just talk about our
Yeah.
life. And so many couples listen to it together in the car and go,
Yes.
"Y'all sound like us when you fight." I mean, so it's
I love
nothing
it.
special, but it just works for some reason.
It's perfect. I love it. It's fun. You guys have what, 30 years now together and
30
you've
years. We're coming up on
figured out
31. Next
that's
month will be
crazy.
31. And I
Well,
tell
you
people all the time we've been married 31 years, and 18 of them have been really great. Do the
I
math.
love it. I won't tell you which one, so you
Yeah,
choose.
exactly.
Yours might be different than David's, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and you've raised two teenagers. Is going off to college, and
Mhm.
that's sad and scary in some ways. I think you're ready to, what did David call it? Like soiling the nest or
Soiling
something?
the nest. And it's a real thing, America. It is a real thing.
Hmm.
It is soiling the nest is when your child that's about to go off to college or about to graduate high school, they begin to essentially, metaphorically, crap all over the place, because this is what the experts say, not me, the experts. They are subconsciously trying to make a break from you and your home. And this is the way they do it, by crapping all over the place. Okay, all
Yep.
over your feelings, all over I mean, just everything. And that is really happening with our daughter, Remy. She's 19. She just graduated high school. And she's been a breeze as a teenager, a complete breeze. Couldn't have been easier. But these last 4 months, it is like somebody has lit her on fire. Okay. And she's just running through the
Yeah.
house screaming all the time. And I am both um, grieved to let her go.
Mhm.
And also, I couldn't let her go fast enough. I mean, I'm going to drop her like it's hot. Okay. When we get her to school.
Yes.
But I also know I'm going to
Yep.
miss her terribly because I know who she is really on the inside. She's
Hmm.
not this soiling the nest individual. This is just nature. This is just how it happens. And it's
Yeah.
all happening like it should. It's helping us break the bonds as well that have to be broken. But don't
Yeah.
get too sad for us. We drop her off at the University of Arkansas and then we come right back home to a 16-year-old boy. And I don't know if you have one of those, but they're not a lot of fun.
Yeah. That
They're not a lot
mine
of
is,
fun. But I have to tell you that do you have a boy?
I do. My youngest, he'll be 19 next week. So he
Okay.
graduated a year ago.
I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you a piece of advice.
Yes.
Tara, we were at a wedding last week, and at one point in the reception,
Hmm.
the photographer, it was a very small, intimate wedding because it was a destination wedding. So they said,
Hmm.
everybody get together for a big picture. And Rocco, my son, jumped up on a chair so that he could be above everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And he was balancing on the chair by holding on to my shoulders.
Oh.
David says, Melissa, you're going to have to move over here. Nobody will be able to see you. You're too short. You're in front of a bunch of people. And I looked at David and I said, I can't move. Rocco is touching my shoulders and he never touches me anymore.
Oh.
So I wanted to stay right here because his hands are on me. And David fell over laughing. But Rocco is 16 and he doesn't want to hug me and he doesn't want to kiss me anymore. Now he'll cuddle up to his dad all day, every day. What
Yeah.
is that, Tara? Why won't he give me any
I don't,
attention?
I think it's just personality in some boys are like that. Some are, I think my son Tyler is he still will hug me and did. And
Really?
even in front of his friends, he would, love you, mom, bye. He'd come and give me a hug. So unusual. And I know his friends did not do that, and his friends sometimes would give him a hard time. But this kid has like, I don't know. He has his confidence level is he's never cared what anybody ever thought about him and still doesn't, too much to his sister's dismay a lot. But he does, and he's that's kind of his personality. And so I don't know, because my husband he's very loving and very open, but he came from a family that didn't say I love you out loud, like a
Okay.
father. So my husband's been the complete opposite of that. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if that's made our son that way, but he definitely is one that, you know, is.
Okay, but so even when he was 15, 16, he didn't go
Mhm.
through that stage at all then?
He didn't. And I was shocked because I know his
Oh,
friends
I'm so
did.
mad
And
at you.
and I know their moms, because like I was really good friends with some of his friends' moms, and they were shocked when they would see it. And I'm like, I don't know what it is with him, but he just doesn't seem to care what anybody else thinks, what anybody.
That's so
I've
wonderful.
never even, like, I would substitute teach in their schools, and he would want me in his class and stuff, which I thought, no way.
OMG.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Now I will say this, Rocco is very free with his words. I love you, mom, and whenever he leaves the house with his buddies, I love you, and I'll say I
Yeah.
love you too. He's very free with his words, but he's not free with his touch, and he did not used to be that way. So I read the
Yeah.
book Bringing Up Boys by James Dobson, and he says this is very normal that
Yeah.
boys will eventually depart from their mom and they'll actually cling a little more to their fathers, and that just means
Hmm.
it's time for them to learn these manly things, right? So I'm chalking it up
Yes,
to it's normal, but it kills me.
it
So at
is.
that wedding, when he was balancing on me, I was like, David, leave me alone. Rocco's touching me.
Yeah.
And I was so
Yes, I
happy.
love it.
It was the most
I love
affection
it.
I've gotten in a year and a half. So I'll take it.
Yep.
But it sounds like you have, like us, raised really confident children, you
Yeah.
know? That I
I
mean that
think,
he's confident. He doesn't care what people think. And that's what a wonderful quality that is.
yeah, he is, my girls are more like their dad, where they're a little more introverted and a little bit more, they're not as much now that they're a little bit older, but he has been an extrovert from day one. He has had his own mind, his own, I mean, as a toddler, oh goodness, he was
Mhm.
crazy. You could
Yeah.
not take your eyes off of him. But he has just one that is so extroverted, so just gets his energy from people and stuff. And that's just kind of who he is. And it is not like I recognized it at the time, even that
Hmm.
it is because, like you said, what you see with Rocco is more normal teenage boy
Right.
behavior.
Okay.
And so I definitely don't take it for granted, that's for sure. Well, I don't know, maybe at some point, maybe not, but
I
even
know.
still,
Would you hug him tonight just for me? Just know that I'm
yes,
somewhere in Texas feeling your hug. So,
yes, I will for sure. I will take it anytime I'll get it. And he's definitely will give it. So yeah, it's
that's
fun.
sweet, sweet, sweet.
Well, I have like I had a whole list of things that I wanted to. I don't even know your time frame here, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But um, there, so on the part about raising kids,
Hmm.
what is one thing that you want your kids to remember about you?
Mm. Um, that I tried my
That's awesome.
best in following Christ,
Mhm.
in following God's plan for my life. I want them to always say, I don't know that my mom always got parenting right. And I don't think my mom was always got marriage right. And I know my mom made mistakes with their budget and my mom burned a ton of meals. But man, she sure did try to please God. She sure did try to follow God. That would be the highest praise.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would
I
like
love
for them to have to notice that I serve people
it.
as best as I can. I don't know that I always get that one right either, but that I invested in people and that I love to serve people. But but more than anything, man, she sure was a follower after God.
I love that. That's all that matters. That if you can leave that legacy with your kids, that's perfect. I love that so much. That is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I so I know that you and David on your podcast, The Radke Show, best thing people go listen to that because it's hilarious. You guys usually have some fun game or something. So I came up with two games. So you can
Okay.
decide or we can do both, whichever you want. One of them is rapid fire, the Melissa and David edition. So
Okay.
like I ask you questions and then you like, or would you rather?
I want to do them both.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
if I like them, I'm going to make David do them with me on the podcast. Because honestly,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are always like looking for something to do in that little moment. And
Yeah.
so I need
Okay.
all the ideas I can get. So go for it.
Okay, so if you like these, then I'll send you the questions or whatever too.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, rapid fire. Here we go. Who apologizes first after a fight, you or David?
Me.
Is he
And
gonna
that's
say,
not fair to say because he's not sitting here, but me, and the reason is because not because I'm sensitive and not because I'm sweet. I'm not. I cannot stand underlying tension. I cannot
mm,
stand it. Like I will apologize. I'm not out of a heart of humility, but just because we got to get on with this. I can't
yeah,
stand that. Walking around the house not talking, I can't stand it.
yeah.
I got to deal with
I
it.
I thought you were gonna say it's because I'm usually the one that needs to apologize, right?
I
That's
didn't,
what
I'm
David
not,
would say.
Tara, that wasn't what you asked me. Move on.
That's what David would say. I'm hearing him in the
Exactly.
background saying that. Okay, what's the dumbest thing y'all have ever argued about? There's too many,
That
I'm
is
sure.
not a rapid fire question because there are so many. Um, I think I can't because after 30 years, I can only go off of what we're doing fighting about right now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the podcast episode we did where we put our heads together
Yes. And talked
and
in British?
talked in a British accent?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
and what we did was we fought about something, but we knew looking at each other
Oh.
head to head would make us laugh and talking in a British accent would make us
Hmm.
laugh, but that was a real argument. And right now, so currently what is happening is I cannot stand to look up something for him map wise when we're traveling. So he'll
Hmm.
say, we're on our way to Houston. Why don't you look and see if there's a place to pull in where the next gas station is? How do I do that? How do I do that? What do you mean by that? Do I just say gas stations near me? No, you pull up Waze. But once I pull up Waze, then what do I do? You really don't know how to look for gas. No, I don't. I don't understand what that means. Look for a gas station coming up. How do I know when I type in gas stations near me, it won't be a gas station that we've just passed or
Yeah.
a gas?
But
I don't know.
you're
I
heading in
don't
the
even
wrong
know if we're
direction.
driving south, east, west, north. I don't know. That infuriates me. We were in Dallas the other day and he said, just see, we're driving to the hotel, just see if there's going to be any fast food between here and there.
Hmm.
But I don't know what that means, Tara. How do I find
Yeah.
out what's from, what if it's behind me?
In his brain that's he's got it figured out,
And
but
he says, you're not helping. You're not helping me
yeah.
drive. I say, I
Mm-mm.
shouldn't have to help you drive. You big boy, you sitting in that seat.
That's your
Jesus should be
job.
your co-pilot, not me.
That's right. Have you seen the passenger princess TikTok videos where they're a passenger princess and you just get to sit over there and you're the passenger princess where you get like your little snacks and whatever and they take care of the driving and everything
No,
else. Yeah.
that is
Go.
the best thing I've ever heard. And if we're
Yeah.
going to make it to year 32, I'm going to need to look that TikTok up.
You need to be a passenger princess from here on out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, my next question was, what does David do that drives you absolutely insane, but you secretly find endearing?
How could that be? Okay, I know what it is.
You've got something.
David has started this habit where he will pull up his shirt and play his belly like a bass guitar. If he was here
Oh,
right now, he would be like, shut your mouth, shut your
yeah.
mouth. He does it.
I've heard that on the podcast.
Yeah,
So,
he knows. I tell people he plays his
mhm.
belly like a bass guitar. Our kids, when they were little, thought it was hysterical. Now, and that's why he started doing it. Now it mortifies them, and that's why he still does it. I
Mhm.
don't know what it is. It drives me nuts. I'll be listening to Morgan Wallen while I'm cooking my dinner, and he will try to keep a beat with his bass
Okay.
guitar belly. But I also think he's the cutest thing in the world. So it's both dearing and mortifying all
Yeah,
together.
all of it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, I know the answer to this next one. Who's the better cook and who thinks they are?
Oh, I'm the better cook, and I know I am. But he's a good griller. Oh, and he can smoke a brisket. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
So anything that requires being outdoors, he's better at.
hmm.
But I'm a good cook. I'm a good
Yeah,
cook, and I don't think there's any debate about that. I mean, look at us.
but
We're
as
both
long as
fluffy enough that we know I'm a good cook.
yeah, yeah, as long as you stick to the right on that. What is there's a chapter in here about um the recipes, or you have to stick to the right thing, right? For at your
Oh,
family parties. And
absolutely. Yes,
what is yours? Corn casserole or
there's a whole chapter on, I think it's called The Sides Have Already Been Taken or something like that.
yes.
And certain people have to make certain things. Like if it's Thanksgiving, David will say,
Hmm.
what are we having for Thanksgiving? And I'll say, okay, first of all, you know what we're having for Thanksgiving. Why do you ask that? We've been married 30 years. And he'll say, but who's making the corn casserole? And I'll say, well, unfortunately, my cousin Shelly signed up for it. And he'll be like, oh, I hate it when she makes it. We'll be like, he's like, why didn't you make it? I didn't sign up for it quick enough. And she doesn't know that everybody hates it. So I think
Yeah,
all families are
I
like
love
that,
it.
right? Though?
Yeah. I think so. There's certain people you assign certain things because you know they show up late. And it's like, okay,
Absolutely.
you a
So
dessert. So
you have to give
yeah.
the rolls to Michelle because she's going to show up late. Her food ain't going to be
Yeah.
ready. So just go ahead and give her the rolls. Yeah.
Yep. For sure. For sure. Okay, so what's one chore David thinks he's great at but isn't?
Oh, I think David thinks, I'm going to talk quietly. I think David thinks that he's good in the yard,
Mm.
but I can see the weeds. You haven't, if they grow real tall and then you spray them with Roundup, that doesn't make them invisible, David. It just means that they're dead and now they're short, but it doesn't mean they're
And they shrivel
invisible.
up.
And he's like, look, but I sprayed everything. But you didn't pick them up. Also, I bought this thing on Amazon and it is a long handheld torch because around our
Oh,
pool, we have a lot of rock and weeds
hmm.
grow up between the rocks and that hurts your hands. So I
Yes.
bought this torch and then you can just torch the weeds. And
Hmm.
David has caught everything on fire. David has burnt three of my shrubs. David has burnt the side of our deck. He's literally burnt his eyebrows off at one point. I mean,
Oh
singed his
no.
eyebrows. That's what I'm trying to say. And
Yeah.
he's terrible at it. So he's not really great on the outdoor things.
Okay. That's all right. That's all
I'm
right.
sure it'll
He's
come
good.
up on the podcast someday. I'll have to admit it to him.
Yeah.
I think he knows, but
He knows. He knows. If you were stranded on a desert island, would you want David there or would that just make things worse?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't have it any other way. I want him there. I want him
For
everywhere
sure.
I go. I mean, he's like an emotional support animal.
Yeah.
He's my emotional support animal. Even when places hire me in to come speak because I'm a public speaker and I travel all over, I will say, will they pay for a plus one in the hotel or for a flight? Because I want him
Mhm.
with me as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you guys just work together. I love that. It's just to listen to you. That's why your podcast is just awesome. Um, so this one I probably should ask maybe next time you guys come on another time and I
Okay.
want to know what the most David thing David has ever done and what he would say the most Melissa thing you've ever done is.
I
So,
already know what he would say is the
yeah.
most Melissa thing I've ever done. I would have to have some time to think of what's the most David thing. Um, but it's probably the night that he threw a temper fit because we weren't following the rules on a game of dominoes.
Oh
And
no.
that's where he got the name Attorney General because he is an attorney. And a lot of people are like, oh, I thought he was an attorney general because you call him that. No, I call him that because he's such a black and white rule follower. And we weren't
Hmm.
playing trash train according to the specifications of the rule book. And he threw a temper fit in front of my family. And that's the most David thing he's ever done. So he got the name Attorney General.
I love
But
it.
I'm not going to tell you what he would say the most Melissa thing is because I want to see if it's the same story.
Same thing.
And you'll
Okay.
just have to trust me. Like if I look at you and I go, Tara, I knew that's what he was going to say. You have to just believe me.
Okay.
Okay.
I do. I'll believe you.
Okay.
Because you know him. You know him better than he knows himself, right?
That's right.
Um, okay, so I got what, three more of the rapid fire, but it's not rapid fire because I love hearing the stories. If your marriage had a theme song, what would it be?
He's told me that it would, he's told first of all, there is a song that we like that's for us. And then there's a, probably a theme song about me. He said the theme song about me is she's a maniac, maniac on the floor. That would be it. But
Yeah.
if our marriage had a theme song, it would be, you ready? This is an old
Uh-huh.
throwback. She's got her daddy's money, her mama's good looks, more laughs than a stack of comic books, a wild imagination, a college education. Add 'em all up, it's a deadly combination. She's a good bass fisher, a dynamite kisser, and country as a turnip green. She's got her daddy's money, her mama's good looks, and look who's looking at me.
I do know that song. I love that. I love it. That's
And when we were
perfect.
dating, he was like, this song literally portrays you
Hmm.
perfectly on every single thing. So that's kind of our little song.
I love it. I love it. That's so good. And I love to listen to you sing. I don't know if people know what a great singer you are too. So
Well,
that
I
is
wasn't
awesome.
really showing off the skills there, but you get the point.
You, she's got skills. So go Google it. She's got skills. Um, oh, here's a good one. What's the most ridiculous romantic gesture that David has ever attempted?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, but it was on our television show.
Oh.
And there is a scene in one of our episodes where David took me on a picnic in the back of his truck. It was during
Hmm.
and he came up with the idea. So I'm going to say this, and then a lot of people will be like, oh, but the TV show put it together. But everything was his idea. And I think that was it was really sweet. It was the fall. So he knew I wouldn't be hot because it was kind of chilly
Yeah.
outside. He packed blankets and everything in the back of his truck. He went and bought movie popcorn, which is my favorite snack, but you got to get it from the movies. He had
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cups. He had some Coke. He had a television sitting, like an iPad pulled up with a movie on it and blankets. That was a really romantic gesture. And I thought, oh, look what they did for this scene. But then they told me later, every bit of that was him. He thought of it. He knew what you would like. Told us what to go pick up. And I thought that turned out really great. That was very true to who David is.
Go, David.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. Hint, hint, maybe for, year
The
32 or
fall is
something,
coming
right?
up. Let's
It's
do it again.
coming. It's coming. Complete the sentence. After 30 minutes with David, I need.
A break. And that's funny because we work together and everything so well. But David is a talker. People think it's me. At home, I'm not that much of a talker. I like my quiet. I like to read my books, focus on my TV. That man talks nonstop. He
Yeah.
talks all the time. I've always said David will be the only man in human history that when he dies, his mouth will keep running because, and it will be asking questions. Where'd you get that? Well,
Yeah.
how much was it? What'd you buy it with? Where'd you go? How long were you there? Why'd you take her? I mean,
Oh, that's
and you
funny.
know what else he does? He walks in the last 20 minutes of a series finale
Oh.
and he says, now tell me what's going on. What a killing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. I love it. Okay, would you rather? You
Okay,
ready?
let's do would you rather. Really, let's do it rapid fire.
Okay, ready?
Like
Would you
I'm really gonna
rather
answer.
host Thanksgiving dinner for 25 Radkeys or be stuck in traffic with David for 3 hours with no snacks?
Host Thanksgiving dinner.
Ooh. Would you rather have a perfect hair day or unlimited queso for life?
Unlimited queso for life.
Perfect. Agreed. Agreed. Would you rather relive junior high or relive potty training for your kids?
Relive potty training.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Same.
bad junior high was.
Agreed. Would you rather go to therapy or drag David to couples line dancing class?
Therapy all day, every day.
Yeah, that would be bad. Would you rather fight a chicken every morning or never eat Chick-fil-A again? Some of these I knew would be hard for you
I guess I'll have to freaking fight a chicken every morning, Tara.
because
That's
who could never
horrible.
eat Chick-fil-A ever again? That's impossible. Same. Okay, would you rather your kids read your diary or David reads it out loud to your church group?
I guess I'd rather my kids. I talk a lot about the people at church.
That's what I figured. I figured. Would you rather lose your voice for a week or let David do all your public speaking?
Oh, I'd rather lose my voice for a week. I'd rather lose my voice for a week.
Okay. Would you rather be known as the funny one or the wise one at every women's event?
It doesn't matter. I'm the funny one. I'm the funny one. For a short time, I wanted to be wise, but it just isn't going to work out for me.
It's age. Age is what making you wiser, right? Like we're
Let's
not
hope.
me. Not me. Okay. Would you rather live without Spanx or soda, your favorite dirty soda?
I would obviously rather live without Spanx. That's going to be a bad scene for people who see me in a dress, but I have to have my sodas.
Yeah. That I can't was it I think it was in the book. Was it in the book or was it on one of your No, I think it was in the book where you talk about your when you sang at that and then all the women taped you into
They had to
your
tape my boobs
outfit.
up. They
Yeah.
duct taped my boobs
That
down. And then the
oh,
story
that
is
was in
what
the book, right?
happened yeah, it's in the book. What happened when I started sweating on the stage singing and the tape got loose. But don't tell people
Yeah.
they have to buy the book.
They buy the book because you just paint the perfect picture and it's hilarious. Hilarious. Okay, last one. Would you rather tell the truth at a women's prayer circle or let your mama do it for you?
Oh, I'd rather tell it myself. I'd rather tell it myself. She will exaggerate and throw me under a bus so fast it'll make your head spin. I'll rather
Yeah.
just take it myself.
I love it. I love it. Well, I am so glad that you were here. And thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
What is something that you hope readers take away from Chicken Fried Women?
I really hope that they take away joy. I just want them in the time that they read that book to laugh, to lose themselves in it, to have fun. I cannot promise you that you're going to walk away in your life with Christ is going to be stronger. I can't even promise that you'll want to write letters to all the women in your world, but you will have a great time. And sometimes in this world, that's about the most that we can ask for. It's just a little reprieve of levity, humor, and joy. So that's what I hope they take away.
That's perfect. That's what I've taken away. I love this book. I love listening to you and tell people where they can find it, find your socials. We'll link them. I'll make sure to link them. But
I'm
anything
on
you want to say?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok at Melissa Radke. You can find the Radke Show anywhere you listen to podcasts. We also film the Radke Show, so you can watch it on my YouTube channel. And then you can find the book anywhere that sells books. You can find Chicken Fried Women. And I had a wonderful time writing it. I hope you have as much fun reading it. Thank you so much, Tara,
Yes.
for having me on today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I just love listening to you. So thank you.
Thank you, girl.
Thanks for hanging out with me today on the Focus Podcast. If something stood out or helped you in some way, feel free to share it or leave a quick review. It means a lot. Keep showing up, keep growing, and I'll catch you in the next episode.